So welcome into the latest edition of the GBT Football Review Show. I'm your host, Goma Victor Hines, and as always, it is a pleasure having you join me on this show. It is the Champions League edition, and the first round of games of the final match day of this season's UEFA Champions League group stages have already been played, and there were some pretty interesting events and results unfolding from Tuesday night's action. But first and foremost, here are today's edition's headlines. We'll start off in Germany, of course, where Manchester United were defeated by 3-2 by RB Leipzig, with the English side being relegated into the Europa League for only the second time in the club's history. Now, still in Group H, we'll be taking a look at what happened in the Istanbul Basaksehir versus PSG game, as the game had to be suspended after the players refused to take to the field in unison, allegedly reporting that one of the match officials directed a racist comment towards one of the Istanbul Basaksehir staff members. And finally, we'll end things off in Group G, where we'll take a look at the Juventus versus FC Barcelona game, where all the focus was on that matchup where Cristiano Ronaldo went up against Lionel Messi, with the Portuguese superstar getting one over his long-time Argentine nemesis in Lionel Messi. So all that and more coming up on today's edition. And as I said, we'll start off in Germany, where RB Leipzig got a 3-2 victory over Manchester United. Now, this is only the second time in Manchester United's history that they failed to qualify from the UEFA Champions League group stages. The last time this happened was back in 2015-16 under Louis van Gaal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now joins that category, and he becomes the first manager of an English side to lose 6 or more games out of his first 10 Champions League games. Now, if you're a Manchester United fan, those are statistics that you really do not want to be knowing or hearing, but just have to be safe. But in all honesty, Manchester United shot themselves in the foot. Manchester United have only themselves to blame. Prior to this game, in the match preview, I talked about what Manchester United had to do to get around and make sure that they seal qualification. And what they had to do was go toe-to-toe with RB Leipzig. They had to go blow for blow. RB Leipzig, just like Tottenham Hotspur as we know it, under Jose Mourinho, we know that every time they step onto a football pitch, they are going to defend and they're going to counter-attack, and then they're going to get a result out of that game plan. RB Leipzig have only one game plan: attack. This is a team that thrives off attacking. This is a team that presses you. This is a team that pressurizes, that puts pressure on the ball. They're a team that wants to suffocate you every time you have the ball, and when they have the ball, they're going to make sure that they keep the ball on the other end of the pitch. Manchester United had to exchange this, had to go blow for blow, had to go toe-to-toe with RB Leipzig. And I say, if any one of these teams was to go on and win this game, it was going to have to be outscoring the other. And Manchester United had to go with an attacking approach, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer decided to go with a defensive approach. And I say that if he did that, he would basically be shooting himself in the foot, and as we speak, he shot himself in the foot. And besides that, Manchester United, with 2 games left to spare, needed only 1 point to seal qualification. 2 games, PSG, RB Leipzig. Pretty tough, but they'd already beaten them each and every team. They'd already beaten RB Leipzig and PSG in the first legs at Old Trafford and at the Parc de France. And when the tables turned, they couldn't get the result. So really, Manchester United are the architects of their own downfall, because they had the destiny in their own hands. And coming into this game, they had only one option really: go blow to blow, because they have the players. They have the players to go toe-to-toe. They have the players to attack. They have the players who can go out there and score the goals. They're the likes of Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Edison Cavani, Martial, Pogba, Donny van de Beek. These are all players who have flair in their attacking sense. So it baffled me that he decided to go with the back 5, and then he had Matic and Scott McTominay in the midfield. I looked at the starting 11 and thought to myself, you know what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if you pull this off, then you know what, you're a genius. You know, then we've basically been undervaluing you. But if you lose this game, it's simply your own fault. And RB Leipzig basically stuck to their game plan. They know how they get the job done, and they came into this game, stuck to that game plan, got the job done. As early as the 2nd minute, they knew who to get the ball to, and everything was going down for the whole game. From start to finish, everything went down the left flank, because they have a player in Angelino, a former Manchester City player, who is really good at creating chances, and at the same time, someone who is really good at converting chances. So every RB Leipzig player knew that, you know what, if you want things to happen, let's get the ball down that right flank, down that left flank. And there was really no defensive shape, there was really no defensive cohesion, no defensive chemistry in the Manchester United defense on the night. I mean, they failed to sniff out that threat, and it really baffled me because I talked about this even in the previous game as well. I mean, if I was able to recognize that threat, and then Manchester United, a team that has professionals who go out and read videos, who go out and watch videos of the opposition, and then pinpoint that this is who we should look out for, pinpoint that this is where the threat is going to be, this is where we take advantage from, failed to know that Angelino was going to be the main threat, the main danger on the night. He had a goal after 2 minutes, and then in the 11th minute, this guy can put in a cross. I'm sure that he's going to find, every time he whips the ball, I'm sure that he's going to find somebody, as sure as I am that when I go home and visit my mother, she's going to make tacos for me as a welcome back home present. This guy, more often than not, finds somebody each time he whips in a cross. And really, they afforded him way too much time. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he was nowhere to be seen. He had a pretty terrible game yesterday, and both fullbacks had terrible games yesterday. Alex Telles had to be substituted after the first half. He lost the ball 15 times in 45 minutes. 15 times. And what does that tell you? That RB Leipzig are a team that is going to pressurize you. RB Leipzig is a team that is going to try and suffocate you. And I thought to myself, why don't you add somebody in that midfield? Why doesn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer switch things up, add someone in that midfield, and then maybe have a back four, and then go for a 4-3-3, something of the sort? But he failed to sniff that out. Now, yes, he made changes after halftime, and when Donny van de Beek, Paul Pogba came in, things changed. You know, they cut a 3-0 deficit to 3-2, and that has to say something. But of course, again, Bruno Fernandes is an excellent player, Manchester United's best player by far. And this guy, I really feel for him because he's going to be in the Europa League yet again. The reason he moved from Sporting Lisbon to go to the club like Manchester United, he believed that it was a step up. He believed he needed a better challenge. He believed that he needed to be amongst the big boys. Going for the UEFA Champions League, yes, but you have to stay there. But now he's simply regressing. He's going back into the Europa League. And for a team like Manchester United, yet again, I mean, a team that we thought is progressing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, each and every time they step out on the football pitch, and when you look at the grand scheme of things as in terms of results and where they are, it looks like they keep on regressing. Now, he made the changes. Yes, Bruno Fernandes, penalty, Pogba came in, changed the game yet again, got a goal for himself for the second consecutive game. But the damage had already been done. 3 goals was very hard to come back from. And then they must have started realizing that, hold on, we can definitely score goals. Something they should have realized prior to the start of the game, because RB Leipzig, it was a very open game between Bayern Munich, where the game ended in a 3-3 draw. Bayern Munich knew that they could get goals, but at the same time, I mean, RB Leipzig can get goals as well. Manchester United should have been aware of that they can get the goals, so it was no use of them trying to go the defensive approach, but they ended up going with that. And as we speak, RB Leipzig made very big advantage of that and got 3 goals, and by the time Manchester United so that there was a way out, it was too late, and they find themselves in the Europa League. Where do they go from here? Well, Manchester United have the big game against Manchester City coming up, and do I have faith in them? Absolutely not. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer always seems to get a result when he needs one, but he always at the same time tends to let everybody down when the stage is set. When it is his time to go up on the stage and deliver a world-class performance, go out and deliver a matter of life or death performance, he lets everybody down. But when it is time to come up from the ashes, when his job is on the line, he gets a performance. So, I mean, I don't expect much from Manchester United, but he's always digs himself out of the fire. Bruno Fernandes always digs him out of the fire. I mean, if it wasn't for Bruno Fernandes, I'm pretty sure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have been out of a job, because he saved his job way too many times. But he's still in the job, and when you're still in the job, that means you still have a chance to rectify your wrongs. You still have an opportunity to correct your wrongs. So he goes up against Manchester City, and this is an equally big game, because if he loses that game, it's very hard to see how he can keep lots of people on his side. Even those who still have faith in him will start questioning their faith in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So that Manchester City game is a big one. I mean, you're already in the Europa League. There's nothing you can do about that. But now you can react. Life is 99%. What happened is 10% what happens to you, and 99% how you react to it. So how does he react from this one? He needs to come out with a statement. He needs to come out with a bang against Manchester City. How does he do that? It's up to him, because nowadays we really don't know how Manchester United are going to set up. Are they going to set up defensively? Are they going to set up in an attacking manner? Are they going to play 5 at the back? Or are they going to play 4 at the back, 3 at the back? So right now we really don't know. It's down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But Manchester City are a team that looks to be finding form right now, and it's going to be a very, very tough task. But Manchester United, disappointing night, disappointing that they're out of the UEFA Champions League, given the fact that they won their first 2 games and the destiny was in their own hands. And after winning those 3 games, all they needed was a possible 4 out of 12 points to seal qualification. But they'll be playing Thursday night football. If you're a Manchester United fan, and if you have Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea fans, well, you deserve the criticism that's coming to you. You deserve it. Your players have let you down yet again. Your manager has let you down yet again. Now, let's see how you react. Now, still in Group H, PSG has already qualified, regardless of what happens when they do play Istanbul Başakşehir, and the reports are that they will be playing today to compensate yesterday's game. Now, the game had already started. The game was well underway, but due to refereeing decision, there was a gathering between all the players, and then reading the footage, and I'm hearing what Dembaba was actually arguing about to one of the match officials. You could clearly hear him say that one of the match officials referred to one of the Istanbul Başakşehir staff members as that black guy, and his argument was that when a decision is made, you don't see referees referring to the white guy as that white guy, but when he's a black person, you refer to him as that black person. So that instigated everything. And then all the players refused to walk onto the pitch. And it is further being investigated. But, I mean, this is something that football is trying to kick out. But each and every time, it seems all this taking a knee, all this say no to racism stuff, is merely a formality, just to show that, you know what, yes, we understand what is going on, and we don't like the outcomes, we don't like the consequences of what is going on, so we're going to try and, try to limit it, but it really just doesn't work. I mean, where is the change? Where is the difference? There is no difference at all. It's been going on for the whole year. Take a knee, but these things just keep on reoccurring. We saw the same incident in Ligue 1 where Neymar said that one of the players or one of the match officials yet again referred to him in a racist manner. So what is all this if nothing is changing? Is it merely a formality? And those people in charge, the authorities, really need to up their game then. They really need to take a stand then, because it's not changing. It is basically not changing, and the players themselves know that. I mean, if that's going to keep happening, then just get on with the game then don't take a knee, because it is basically useless. It is basically not changing anything then. So the authorities really need to take a look into this situation, and when they find out what actually went wrong, what actually happened, and if the person who is allegedly the person who's being criminalized, then they should take strict measures. They should take extreme measures to try and get the message across that it is not acceptable, that racism is not acceptable. Racist remarks, racist chants, whatever, are not acceptable. But for now, we have to wait and see what happens in the near future. But the game between Istanbul Başakşehir and RB Leipzig and PSG will be played. PSG, regardless of the outcome, have already qualified into the last 16. Now, let's head over to Group G. Juventus took on FC Barcelona at the Camp Nou, with Andrea Pirlo's men getting the 3-0 victory, and they will finish top of Group G. Now, yes, I say that doesn't matter, and really, it didn't matter at all, because in my opinion, I really just wanted to watch Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo on the same field going up against each other like old times. And we got that. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo came out victor. He won this battle this time round. Scored 2 penalties. The first one he won by himself, and then dispatched it just as Cristiano Ronaldo, just as you would expect of Cristiano Ronaldo. And then Weston McKennie scored one heck of a goal. Wonderfully, beautifully worked goal, whereby there was a smooth transition from the left side of the wing. Aaron Ramsey getting the ball, playing it into Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie down the middle, played it out wide for Juan Cuadrado. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo obviously was trying to get into the box. So with his movement into the box, he had two defenders following him, leaving Weston McKennie all free. And when Cuadrado chipped that ball in for him in the middle of the box, he had all the space, all the time to dispatch it, and he dispatched it wonderfully with a wonderful bicycle kick to make it 2-0. In the second half, Cristiano Ronaldo dispatched it another penalty after a handball from Clement Lenglet. This time round, side footing the goalkeeper, made the goalkeeper go the wrong way, dispatched the penalty to his left, and made it 3-0. Now, obviously, as I say, it was about the goals. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and trust me, Barcelona lost that game, but Lionel Messi was a joy to watch. And I think that game really told us, really spelled out the difference between the two players. Cristiano Ronaldo is a player who is going to deliver. Cristiano Ronaldo is a player who you can always depend on to get the job done. Lionel Messi is basically an entertainer. It really spelled that out. Yesterday, Lionel Messi was the only life in that FC Barcelona team. He was the only person making things happen. Barcelona had only 7 shots on target, and all of them came from Lionel Messi. And honestly, both players just went up against each other and just showed us exactly why Cristiano Ronaldo fans say that he is the greatest player of all time, and why Lionel Messi fans say that he is the greatest player of all time. Because the things Lionel Messi does with the ball are just a joy to watch. I mean, you can just sit there all day. And then what Cristiano Ronaldo does when the stage is set, he is a showman. He is the greatest showman. Lionel Messi, it is both of them really. Both of them are just showmen in their own way, and it really spelled out the difference between the two of them. And also, speaking of legend in the same game, we have to talk about Gianluigi Buffon, a 42-year-old who kept out all of Messi's 7 shots on target. I think he's not getting the deserved recognition that he is supposed to be getting, because he was superb on the night. Saved multiple shots from Lionel Messi, free kicks, shots, and he managed to keep a clean sheet for Juventus and make sure that they went home with all 3 points with no goals conceded. But in general, it was a wonderful performance from Juventus. They looked to be a side that was actually more hyped up for this game, more ready for this game, while FC Barcelona just simply did not show up. And despite the fact that Lionel Messi was great, Lionel Messi was spectacular on the night, it just wasn't enough. And you can't win a game by yourself. And right now, it just spells out what is going wrong with FC Barcelona. FC Barcelona were 6s and 7s. They just could not hold the ball. Juventus just came out with a game plan, and FC Barcelona had no game plan at all. It was simply like a group of players out there just playing football. And we all know that sports or football as a profession, it is just more about having fun out there on the football pitch. It is a job, it is a profession, so there is more that goes into it. But on the night, it seemed Ronald Koeman just got everything wrong. He failed to get the game plan across his team. He failed to motivate them or whatever. And Barcelona were generally terrible on the night, and they deserved to lose that game. Juventus were hyped up for this game, and it was really different from that first leg where Barcelona beat them by 2-0. Now, speaking about that first game, as I say, the major difference in that game and this one has to be Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo, as I said, for the second goal, when he made that movement into the box, he went with 2 defenders. He had 2 defenders go with him, and that left Weston McKennie all alone. And all throughout the game, they all knew that, you know what, Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be the threat. And now when you have that sort of player, and Carlo Ancelotti said that when you have Ronaldo in your team, you're already 1-0 up. And what does that mean? It means that with Ronaldo on the pitch, he is the main focal point. Now you're going to have all the defense, all the defenders, all the players, or those who are meant to be stopping the goals, know that, you know what, we have Ronaldo in the field, so we have to make sure that we limit the balls coming into him, or we have to limit his chances and the space that he has to actually harm us. Now that leaves the other players, the other quality players on the pitch, with the ability to go on and express themselves and harm them in other ways. So that was exactly what went down in that Juventus game. In the first leg, there was no Cristiano Ronaldo, and really there was FC Barcelona were just superior to them. But in this game, with his mindset, with what he brings to the team, and what the fear that he strikes into the opposition defenders, that works out well. And for FC Barcelona, they lost the game by 3-0. But it was a joy to watch. It was a joy to watch Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a joy to watch Messi. It was a joy to watch Gianluigi Buffon, and it was an entertaining game in all honesty. And of course, there were some other games that went down. In Group E, Chelsea took on Krasnodar with Frank Lampard and his men drawing the game by a 1-1 scoreline. Stade Rennes were defeated by Sevilla by 3-1. And in Group F, Zenit St. Petersburg fell to a 2-1 defeat at the hands of Borussia Dortmund, while Lazio and Club Brugge played out a 2-2 draw. Now, there is more UEFA Champions League action coming up to your television screens this day, on Wednesday. And I think Group H. Group B is the team that you all should be taking a look at. Group H, that was yesterday. Group B is the group that you all should be keeping your focus on. Real Madrid go up against Borussia Mönchengladbach, while Inter Milan face FC Schalke. And all teams have the possibility of going through, but all teams also have the liability of being knocked out of this competition. So all that and more coming out to your television screens. I'm your host, Victor Hines. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys all pretty soon.